Alright, welcome. We're gonna play some more Corpse Factory today. Last time I was tired as hell, but I should be more awake for this one. Just looking at these pictures again, I'm trying to remember what... Yeah, okay. Alright, let's continue. I also turned up the sound again. It's kind of quiet in-game, I don't know why. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. I walked through the train station this morning as confident, cocky, self-assured. Yeah, because I just murdered somebody, right? When I boarded the train, I even managed to take a seat for the first time in a while. I would draw a worn book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrawled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it has become faded and illegible over time. Alright, we're starting early with the words I can't read. I can't quite remember where I picked up this book, or maybe I just discovered it at a second-hand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. Its aged cover and weathered spine both bear the same title. Photography. A comprehensive history of photo manipulation. The book is written in English, and it's a slog to work through with my limited knowledge of that language. You and me both. But I like to skim through it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinates me. The book even features techniques and studies as recent as 1993, when it was first published. It's true that a lot of the techniques discussed within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there's a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section's content is that the featured artists perform the opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating images, stupid gnat. Fucking summer. I hate summer so much. Instead of manipulating images of the living to make them appear dead, the artists in the book images, or the book edit images of the dead in order to make them look more alive once again. In bygone eras, when photographs of people were taken few and far between, a sect of artists dedicated themselves to honoring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photographs taken upon death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Imagine if you lost someone dear to you and you had no photographs of them. Wouldn't it be wonderful to receive one last memento, a beautiful image of the way you remember them? Instead of using makeup to beautify a corpse, these artists applied paintbrush and pen directly to a photograph to seemingly bring the deceased back to life. The impressive aspect of this process is the way they illustrated the corpse's eyes to make it look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from the work I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artists discussed in this book. Surely we are cut from the same cloth. Okay, bro. Calm down there. You're kind of a murderer. I don't know if you know this. Browsing through the images in this book inspires me to work hard at my own photo editing. I'm sure it does. Many of the pictures are in black and white, but to me, that only drives home how impressive that these old techniques were. I finish flipping through the chapter and close the book. I hold the tattered tome close to my chest and breathe a sigh of satisfaction.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
Okay. I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. Oh, new screen. When I'm certain nobody's looking, I carefully open the lid of a large dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food and who knows what else assaults my senses, and I reflexively gag and splutter. The staff at the convenience store really need to seal their trash in plastic bags before tossing it in here.
Ugh, this is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
What is she doing? The raised open lid locks in place at a 45-degree angle, allowing my now free hands to retrieve a small black object from my handbag. Oh, the flip phones. Okay. Haven't you ever watched an American movie, dude? Just go throw that shit in the river. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing that with the shiny charcoal finish. Yep. I open it up and tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I've completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Nodding to myself, satisfied that I've covered my tracks, I eject the battery from the back of the casing and toss it in the dumpster. I then snap the phone in half along with the hinge, separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with a gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. I clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I sidle? What is that? I sidle between the brick wall of the convenience store and a narrow metal railing intended to keep people like me away from dumpsters. I'm now in front of the convenience store. I finally can feel a breath. I can't read. I finally feel I can breathe deeply without fear of inhaling the toxic contents of the dumpster. I let my lungs take in their fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I cracked the SIM card in half and disposed of it in the combustible trash. Now with the phone itself destroyed and discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It has been slightly less than 24 hours since I messaged my last victim, the athletic guy that I have briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I wanted to discard the phone early, clear my anxiety, and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone replies to the messages I send. I'd love it if they did, but it is what it is. So really, there's no point in holding on to the evidence of my wrongdoing for any longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote tomorrow's date on the latest victim's timestamp, May 30th, 10:31 a.m. The victim may decide to kill himself today, of course. He could end up just like Akane Turuzumaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll hold out just until a few hours before the designated time. He'll let panic and fear boil and build inside of him until he can't take it anymore. Or someone else will come along and end it all for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Yuri Hatano. Did she kill herself, or did someone else snuff her out of her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident that this will be another successful request. If it is, I'll truly be on a winning streak. With butterflies in my stomach, I cross the road. On my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to my apartment, provided the weather is decent. I avoid the park in the mornings, as a lot of people walk their dogs and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I'll finish work a little bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air and scenery. I make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches line the path at regular intervals, and at this time of the evening, it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. The city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. I try not to think much of it as I walk by them every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do, but there's not exactly anything I can do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money when I can't afford to spare? Wouldn't I just end up homeless as well? Not exactly broke, but I lived month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara? And commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to, but I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. And don't even get me started on the cost of coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can of 100 yen, but more often than not, I'm paying up to 150 for a single can. Even if I were to buy canned coffee in bulk, from one of those huge variety stores like Don Coyote, I'd still only save a handful of loose change. And I wouldn't have access to the familiar selection I get at this convenience store. I'm just thankful I don't go out for drinks after work like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beer every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. Realizing that I'm trudging along the path at a snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Towards the end of the park, the silhouettes of two people on the bench come into view. The sound of laughter carries the wind, and I can't help but feel like I've heard those voices before. As I draw closer, a sinking sensation clutches at my stomach. I immediately get the urge to turn around, but I'm close to home.
Aha! It's Noriko! Fancy seeing her here.
God damn it. What do you want, bitch?
Noriko's here.
Uh-oh. Tomo and Shinya. Tomo glares and flips her long hair behind her ear with a shit-eating grin on her face. Shinya looks kind of out of place outside the office. His face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall that Tomo did mention that they were going out on a date Friday night. Took her to the park. It's not bad. I suppose it's just my bad luck that I run into them on the way home, though I wonder what are they doing in Akihabara. I have to assume that Tomo came here on purpose just to spite me.
On your way home?
Oh, you bitch.
Uh-huh. How's your, date?
We're having a blast. Right, Jen?
Yes, of course. A great time.
I wonder if Tomo has been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Hey, we're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us?
No thanks.
I can't think of any worse way than to spend an evening eating with Tomo.
Please come with us, Noriko.
What, are you fucking kidding me? Shinya has a dejected look on his face. It's pitiful, but he brought this day on himself. Why should I have to bail him? I agree.
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
Oh, you bitch. I honestly don't know what to say to that. You say, oh, you bitch, and you walk away.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
I actually relate a lot. I didn't like to eat on my lunch breaks either at work. And I also didn't eat lunch at school either. I always like to eat at home because, quite frankly, the school lunch is disgusting. They always used to think I was starving myself and I had some sort of eating disorder at school. Like, the counselor brought me in several times wondering why I'm not eating my food. And, like, they thought there was something wrong with me, like, mentally. The food's just fucking gross, dude. I don't want to eat their shitty, garbage, cardboard pizzas and, like, roadkill chicken nuggets, dude. And then, yeah, at work, I just didn't want to spend the money. So I worked at a retail, big chain. I'll just say at Walmart. I didn't want to spend my fucking paycheck at the place I was working, so I just recycle my money through their damn store. But that's what you had to do if you worked there, because there's nothing close by that I can go eat. It's not completely a lie. Sometimes I eat at home, sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
Jesus. She's starting to get on my nerves. I swear, if she tries to identify my flaws and insecurities just so much, she can rub it in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being
Tomoe,
very nice to
what?
Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
No! I told you we weren't friends.
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
Right.
Huh. Fascinating.
Anyway, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay, see you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
I let Tomoe's words hang in the air as I walked past her. I'm pretty annoyed that she dragged Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? Does she care about Shinya at all? Or is this whole thing just to annoy me? Tomoe dating Shinya doesn't even get under my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomoe is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I carry on my way home without a final interruption. Tomoe calls out to me again.
Your friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? Oh, fun. I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko's.
What did we do to her? I grimace. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turn back and face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend. If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yo, I got plenty of friends. And only some of them are sluts like you.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going.
I finally managed to disengage from the conversation, even with Tomoe's mocking laugh piercing the air. I exit the park, cross the road, walk down the block leading to my apartment. Tomoe. I have to wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. I have to tell myself she's not worth my time. I can't let her taunts get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile as I approach my apartment building. And now we're at a library. I spent all morning trying to unsuccessfully calm my nerves. I'm anxious about finding out whether my latest victim has perished. It's afternoon now, so the time written on this photo has passed. If my work was successful, I should know enough by now. I've already set up an obituary news alert on my phone to keep me informed. Instead of sitting at home all day waiting for my phone to go off, I decided to visit an old favorite hangout. Public libraries don't get the credit they deserve in this age. They're quiet, calm, and soothing. I could sit here for hours for free and just get lost in the different worlds. Plus, they always carry works of my favorite authors. Sometimes librarians are even kind enough to recommend titles that might fit my tastes, or interests, both work. I don't feel judged here. Nobody looks at me and mocks my clothing or my makeup. Nobody looks at me and asks if I've had enough to eat lately. Nobody makes fun of me, that lonely girl in the corner reading Lovecraft, and call me stroking her hair. Every so often I put a book outside and I put my book aside and check my phone out of habit. Still no alerts. Have I miscalculated something? Did my latest photo not look convincing or damning enough to inspire suicide or murder? I found myself growing increasingly anxious and impatient.
Cthulhu, huh? You a Lovecraft nerd?
I'm just loving the fleas this guy has all over his mouth. It's really awesome. I blink twice and look up at the strange man standing over me with fleas all over his face.
Huh?
Sauce. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Saws.
Notice you're reading Lovecraft. Huh. In Japanese, too.
Saws. Okay. I already don't like this guy.
Didn't know this book had been translated.
He's also wearing a lot of sunscreen on his face. He looks like, what's his name? Founder of Facebook. Why am I blanking right now? Mark Zuckerberg. You know that photo of Mark Zuckerberg with sunscreen plastered all over his face? He's in whiteface right now.
Yeah. My English isn't great, so I read the translated versions.
That's mad. Do they translate
That's
esoteric
mad.
names? Can't imagine Cthulhu being easy to write in kanji.
Well, it's written in katakana, so...
Of course. Kojiro.
The man extends a hand, and I can't tell if he wants me to shake it or pass him my book.
What?
I'm Kojiro. You?
Noriko. Kurosawa.
Nice. Just Gojiro for me. No last name. Call me Koji.
You don't have a last name?
Used to. Lost it. Fire, you know. I'm just Gojiro now.
Oh, he's so mysterious, dude. This guy is weird. His clothes smell like they've been stashed in the back of a closet for a decade or two, and he has fleas all over his face. His face is full of fleas, and his eyes are scarily clear and focused, despite being masked by a pair of thick glasses.
Didn't mean to keep you. Saws again. I'm looking for Nobel Sinclair. He around here?
What is this so shit? What is that? An informal word for sorry, usually used in writing, especially about something not as very serious and important. I forgot her name, Soz. Soz, I haven't been blogging much lately. Soz, I didn't see you there. Oh my god. I hate it. Sounds like something a kid would say. Ugh. Sorry, that just got to, I don't know why that got to me. I hate that word.
I mean, I don't know. Who?
Writer guy? Did that book about befriending the dead? The librarian told me to check these shelves.
Sorry, I don't really know.
No worries. I'll find him. You know, you look like the type who'd enjoy his books. Not to judge you by your cover.
Good one.
Need a strong stomach, though. Messed up shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to read here, Koji. As much as I hate to admit it, this stranger has captured my interest, really.
How messed up are we talking?
Well, his first book describes dressing up corpses, taking them to dinner. Goal is to not get caught out. Mad, right?
Mad, right?
Like something out of that American movie. Weekend with Bernard? Or something like that. Second book goes nuts. Main character fills the school classroom with bodies, all dressed up as students. Runs lectures and records them, puts them online.
That got her hot.
Best part? No one can figure out if these books are fiction.
What?
Internet says Nobel Sinclair actually did these things. Says he's doing time now. Writing these books as a confession.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, she's getting off on this already.
Right? It's deranged. Makes for a good bedtime reading.
Ironically, this weird, creepy guy opened up to the one other really weird, creepy girl in the best way possible.
Huh.
You a noise? Well, of course you are.
Yeah. You?
Yeah, at Koji Koji. Add me if you like. We can talk shop. I'm gonna find Nobel. Wish me luck.
And without so much as a glance back at me, the man walks away. I try to return to my reading, but the whole conversation just replays in the back of my head. What a bizarre encounter. Maybe I'll just head home for today. Being here has helped me calm down, but I'm still Why can't it read everything to me? I don't want to read anymore. The next game I play, I'm not reading anything. But I'm still eagerly anticipating the fate of my victim. Besides, I have to admit that I'm growing a little bit hungry. Maybe onigiri, a rice ball from the convenience store, will tide me over until tomorrow. I gather my things and stand up, letting out a little whew as I stretch my muscles. As I head towards the sliding doors to leave the library, a little alert sounds from my phone. This is it. My phone is in my hands a little less than a second, the screen unlocked, and the obituary page loading before my eyes. She's not gonna, like, fall on the floor in the library and start having orgasms again, is she? Today, 2:39 p.m. Keywords found: Mr. Accident, numerical data range 20 to 30. Music starting. Image data found, yes. Saturday, May 30th. Mr. Ichi Hananda, 22, of Tokyo Prefecture, was pronounced dead this afternoon at a traffic intersection, 12:02 p.m. Coroner's office reports that Mr. Hananda was involved in a traffic accident. No other casualties have been reported. Mr. Hananda is survived by his fiancée, who wishes to remain anonymous. An anomaly. A funeral service has not yet been arranged. View image attachment? Hell yeah. I quickly load the image attachment and I can't believe my eyes. This photo is the exact same one that was sent to me through Corpse Girl's website. There can be absolutely no doubt that this is my latest victim. I've done it again. My breathing starts to quicken. My cheeks begin to grow hot. I know for experience that if I don't go somewhere Oh shit, I love this game, dude. I know from experience that if I don't go somewhere private and quickly, I may very well make a fool of myself in public, yeah. I quickly glance around the library for a sign pointing to a restroom. As soon as my eyes settle on it, I dash towards it, swerving between bookshelves through narrow aisles. There's one door for a unisex bathroom, an unremarkable beige portal. The muscles in my thighs are tightening and I squirm to reach the door. As I reach for the door, my hand grasps the cool metal handle and presses down, only to be met with an immovable resistance. It's locked. There's a sign on the door. I noticed that I completely ignored in my haste. Closed for cleaning.
Shit.
I curse besides my best efforts to keep a low profile. My head turning frantically, looking for somewhere, anywhere that I can sit down and remain out of sight while my body reacts erratically to my latest success.
Yo, you busted?
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I'm about to bust. This guy again.
I need to use the restroom.
I hope you can't tell from the expression on my face is not one of desperation to use the facilities.
On it.
To my surprise, Kojiro strides up in the restroom door and begins to slam his fists against it.
Hey, cleaning time is over. Get out of there.
I hear a panicked yelp from within. Kojiro's commanding voice was more than a little intimidating. Within seconds, a terrified old woman emerges. She wheels out her cleaning trolley around us, bows quickly, and disappears from sight.
All yours. About to hold it.
Thanks.
At least the floor is clean. I dash past Kojiro, unable to believe what is happening here. I slam the door behind me and slip into a cubicle. As soon as I sit atop the toilet's closed lid, my legs begin to shake uncontrollably, and I have to lean back to steady myself. Ichi Hananda is dead, killed in a traffic accident. That could mean anything, but I'm willing to bet that I caused his death. After seeing the photo of his dismembered corpse, he might have purposely crashed his car. Or perhaps someone else rammed his vehicle intent on murdering him on behalf of Corpse Girl. Oh shit. Did I skip? No, I didn't skip. It looked like I skipped something. I still don't know what my power, or how my power works. I don't know why these victims end up dead. But the cause of death ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is that Corpse Girl is victorious once more. I find myself panting, squirming, struggling to restrain myself. My vision fogs, my knuckles clench. And with barely a fanfare, I begin to cool down all of a sudden. Just like that, the overwhelming urge to explode simply flutters away. Huh? What a jip. My breathing regulates, my legs solidify, and rest firmly on the ground. This experience wasn't nearly as staggering as oh, she's getting addicted to it, so she's gonna have to keep killing people to make her get off more, you know. She's getting desensitized, is what I was trying to say. Maybe I was just so confident that this victim would die. My body already prepared itself for it. Have I already become desensitized to my ability to wield the death itself? I won't pretend that I'm not disappointed. That exhilarating feeling I experienced last time, the complete and utter loss of control, it was addicting. I craved that experience again. Still, I need to remind myself of the most important thing. I fulfilled the request issued to his corpse girl. That's 2 new victories in a row, 2 victories in a single week. As long as requests keep coming, I can achieve my goals. We can do this. Or I can do this. We can't do it. I'm not doing anything. Full of confidence and feeling steady once more, I exit the cubicle and leave the bathroom. That's strange, man. Kojiro is waiting for me at the end of an aisle. God, go away, dude. I don't want to talk to you. I just had an orgasm.
You good?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for... You know, I really needed the bathroom.
Of course. Been there. Gotta go when you gotta go. Look what I found.
I don't care. Kojiro holds up a book with a plain black cover.
Nobel Sinclair's latest. Dazed by the Dead. It's a ripper.
It's a ripper.
Oh, what's that one about?
Falling in love with the dead. Read it already last year. Time for another go. Oh, here.
Kojiro hands me another book. This one a brown cover. An illustration on the front depicts a field of flowers.
What's this?
Sinclair's first ever published work. Strange Flower. Title's nonsense. This is the one where he puts corpses in suits, treats them to meals at fancy restaurants. Loaned it out under my name. He'd take it. Return it before the due date. Can't risk getting fined.
Sorry.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll be sure to read it.
Sure. Send me your thoughts and noise. Right. Be seeing you.
A brief wave of his hand and he disappears behind the closest shelves. I can't really get over how peculiar he is, but he's certainly making an effort to be friendly. Yeah, he's trying to get with you, dude. I turn the heavy book over in my hands and look inside the front cover for a publication date. 2009. It's actually not that old. Definitely not as old as the fiction I normally consume. I shrug and hoist the bulky tome underneath my arm. Then I make for the library's exit. I feel uncommonly hungry on my way home, so much so that I wanted to stop by a restaurant and get some dinner. I wonder if killing still stirs my appetite. I often pass by this establishment when I exit the train station in Akihabara. That's right. It's an old venue that serves traditional Japanese food as well as popular Western dishes. To say that I've always been curious about eating here would be inaccurate. Been working hard lately, achieving my goals. I can afford to treat myself to a cooked meal, right? Why do I find it so hard to justify that? Because you're broke, dude. When you're broke, you can't justify anything. I'm even going to eat at a booth tonight, another rarity for me. A waitress guides me to an empty booth, and I slide in before looking at the menu. The house specialty, according to the menu in my hands, is grilled eel. Not exactly my favorite. In fact, seafood of any variety doesn't sit well with my stomach. I decided to pass on the specials and order something I know I could digest. Omurice sounds good. I used to eat it a lot as a kid. Omelet, rice, ketchup, what's not to like? Plus, it's only 700 yen before tax. The waitress returns to take my order, and I confidently point out what I'd like. She offers me a smile and hurries off to the next table. Perhaps my recent victory streak has given me the courage to given my courage a boost, because I hardly feel awkward or anxious sitting here, surrounded by people eating and drinking on all sides. I'm somewhat calm and at ease amidst the hustle and bustle of the restaurant. I almost feel like it might be nice to have company. A friend, perhaps Aoi, or even Shinya, might be nice to talk and pass the time with. Oh well, in a way, I do have company. I retrieve a book from my handbag, the very same book Kojiro lent me, and I open it to the first chapter. Strange Flower, an odd and apparently meaningless title. Still, it comes highly recommended by an eccentric stranger, so it must be good. My meal arrives when I'm a few pages into the book. I thank the waitress and look at the omurice before me. It smells good. It's presented beautifully. I could probably eat it at least a quarter of this portion without feeling ill. I pick up a spoon and slice through the middle of the omurice, causing a puff of steam to billow up. Throwing caution to the wind, I scoop up a good amount and bring it to my mouth. It's delicious. There are no other words to describe it. The convenience store meals I normally eat can't even compare to something like this. The egg is soft, the rice is fluffy, and there's just enough ketchup to go along the top. I take a second mouthful, then a third. I can't help but giggle a little bit at the thought of me sitting there, eating like a normal person. All the people around me probably think I'm a normal person too. Just a girl sitting in a restaurant eating her dinner. Another quiet giggle escapes my lips as I dab my mouth with a napkin. I set my spoon to the side and return to the book in front of me. The author of this work is certainly interesting. Nobel Sinclair. According to the bio on the front cover, he moved to Japan overseas at a young age. The book was written originally in Japanese. It is not a translation, but even so, the writing style is quite unusual. I can't quite put my finger on what is strange about it. Maybe it's the lack of complex kanji used throughout. Everything is written rather simply, in hiragana, almost like an intended audience in elementary school kids. But that can't be right. The themes contained within are truly disturbing. Maybe the author just doesn't have the greatest comprehension of writing in Japanese. It's true that a lot of adults have trouble with complex kanji. Professional authors, though, not so much. Anyway, it's not like it matters too much. The book is interesting enough to keep me turning the pages. I must be completely absorbed in reading because before I know it, a waitress is politely letting me know that the restaurant is closing soon. I nod and look at the plate of omurice before me. The meal has gone cold. I've only ate 3 bites. Still, I'm feeling full now. I really enjoyed what I did eat. I don't even feel any added weight on my hips as I get to my feet. That's definitely a positive thing. Maybe she does have an eating disorder. I don't know. I stretch my arms and legs. I put my book in my bag, and I offer the waitress some money along with the bill. They keep pulling attention to it, the fact that she has trouble eating. A blast of frigid night air sweeps me off my feet when I step out to the restaurant. If I had known the weather was going to take a turn for the worse, I would have brought my scarf and jacket. It's the end of spring, so unpredictable cold weather is pretty rare. I guess I can't be blamed for not bundling up. Anyway, it's not raining and I'm close to home, so it shouldn't be a problem. I head down the street and watch a few shop owners close their stores for the night. They don't pay me any mind as I wander by. My phone bursts to life as it rings in the quiet night air. I grab it and press it close to my ear for warmth.
Hello? Aoi? Noriko? Hello? Is this a bad time?
Terrible. What do you want?
No, I'm just walking home. You're out at this time of night? That's not like you. I stopped somewhere to eat. What's up? You stopped to eat?
God damn it. What is with the Inquisition here, dude? Yeah.
Say, about the new job. What is it? I spoke to the manager at the Maid Cafe, but he said I can't quit.
He said that? Oh, well, it's not up to him. You have every right to quit. Did you tell him you've landed a new job?
Yes, I told him. But he said he spent so much time and money training me that if I quit now, he'll treat it as stealing from the company and he'll call the police.
You can't fucking do that, I think.
What a load of crap! Hang on. Are you at the cafe now?
Yes, I just finished my shift. We're closing up.
I'll be right there. I'm only a minute away anyway. I'm going to give your manager a piece of my mind.
No, Noriko, you can't.
Too late.
Just watch me. I'll be right there.
I end the call despite Aoi's objections. I can't believe how furious I am. Aoi finally managed to escape. Aoi finally has an escape route from a god-awful job, and now the manager won't let her quit? This has to be illegal. Yeah, it does sound fucking illegal to me. But I don't know Japanese law. I've never met her manager, but I can't imagine his type. But I could just imagine his type. A self-important, wretched, greedy pig. Thinks he's the king of the world because he runs a shady maid cafe in the back streets. Well, I won't stand for it. People like him are the ones that should get reported on to Corpse Girl's website. I'd love to target victims like that. Instead, I just target innocent people with fiancés and daughters. I change direction and take up a running pace. The cool air against my face is kind of nice now that my body is warming up a little. Thankfully, there's hardly anyone around at this time of night, so I don't feel particularly embarrassed by running in public. I'm not a terribly fit person, so it isn't long before I feel out of breath. I come to a stop at the end of the street, heaving and clutching my chest.
Okay. I'm okay. Deep breaths.
After taking a moment to collect myself, I start to back up, walking briskly this time. I can see the maid cafe's illuminated sign ahead of me. I'm actually really hot right now. It's fucking summer. I hate summer so much. I approach the entrance and read the neon board. Chateau de Cristal. Welcome home, master. Drinks, just 400 yen, I assume? Table charge, 500 yen per person. Open until 10 p.m. every night. Pass the sign and reach for the door handle just as somebody hurriedly throws the door open and emerges.
Noriko?
One of these places, huh?
Aoi, told you I'd be here.
I'm really glad to see you.
Aoi gives me a brief wave. She fidgets nervously and straightens out the ruffles in her dress.
I can't believe you have to wear this ridiculous outfit.
Yeah, but the costume isn't the worst part of the job.
I know. Listen, is your manager still here?
Aoi hesitates. Then she shakes her head sadly.
You just missed him. There are only a few girls inside closing up.
Damn it. Ugh, I really wanted to give him a piece of my mind.
Me too.
Noriko, it's fine. I can continue working here. It's not so bad.
Hell no! Don't even pretend it's okay. This place is torturing you. You have that customer that always gropes you, and now your manager is controlling you? I won't stand for it, and you shouldn't either.
But what can I do?
Fucking leave, woman. Come on. I'm honestly stumped by the question and all my hastiness to get here. I never even thought through a plan for Aoi. Take off your stupid maid outfit, go put your clothes back on, and get the fuck out. Leave. Leave. Damn it, that heartbreaking expression on her face. Fucking go. What, you call his bluff. Is he really gonna call the cops? It sounds fucking illegal what he's doing. I just want to grab her, hug her, and tell her it is gonna be okay if she just leaves. If you let her stay there, it's not gonna be. So why can't I? Because you're an idiot and you don't know anything about anything.
Aoi.
Leave.
I know you don't feel like it, but you're the strongest girl I know. All the shit you've dealt with over the years, all the shit you're still dealing with.
Yeah, she's strong as in durable, but if she was a little bit stronger mentally, she wouldn't have to deal with all this shit she does deal with. You gotta give shit back sometimes.
You're brave, whether you know it or not. My issues pale in comparison to yours. But you still get up each and every day and do your best. I'm proud of you. And I want to make things easier for you. come work with me at Temujin. Just leave this place behind. Forget all about it.
Noriko.
You're my best friend. You always will be. Even if we can't be anything more than that, I'm happy just having you in my life. I'd do anything for you, Aoi. I hope you realize that.
Of course. I know. Thank you, Noriko.
Let's get out of here. It's really late. Come back to my place.
You know I can't. All my things are at home, and I need to check everything first. Otherwise...
I know, Comply, I understand. I can't push her too much.
Don't worry. I get it.
And the thing is, I can't just run away from this place.
Why not?
That stalking customer, he knows where I live, and, well, if I stop showing up to work, he said he'll visit me at home.
Why don't we go to the police?
Yeah.
I can't do that!
Without warning, Aoi bursts into tears just as rain begins to fill the clouds.
I can't get him in trouble. I just can't.
Aoi, what? What is he?
He's... Emily.
A gust of wind blows down the narrow street, causing my hair to whip wildly in my face. I brush it out of my eyes and mouth, only to see Aoi standing still, her head down.
A stalker. He's... Emily?
I could never bring myself to tell you. But surely you must have wondered why I put up with it for so long.
I thought it was just because you're spineless.
I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. You're putting up with it because you don't want him arrested.
Yes. If he goes to prison, the rest of my family will disown me. And I'll truly have no one.
Why don't you disown him for being a stalkery little shit?
You have me.
You know what I mean. I'm just going to go home for tonight. Thanks for coming out to see me, Noriko.
Aoi turns on a heel and walks away. The click-clack of her shoes against the wet pavement echoing through the street.
Aoi.
She doesn't hear me breathe her name as she disappears into the darkness. That poor girl. The rest be I mean, you could murder the asshole who's stalking her. You can murder her manager. You have the power of death. Just kill everybody that's in her way. Oh! I have a choice. For the first time in this goddamn game. Okay. I want to go after her because I want to tell her to stop the bullshit and grow a pair. I can't let her go. I can't let her just walk away, as sad as helpless as she is. My legs lurched forward in front of her of their own volition, propelling my body through the rain-soaked street.
Aoi! Aoi, come back!
My shout echoes in the night, my weightless words falling through the air like a very rain that patters on my face. Aoi's silhouette is just out of reach. If only my weak body could pick up the pace, I might be able to reach her before she fades away.
Stop!
Her unexpected command fulfills its purpose. I halt, my shoes skidding along the wet ground. Aoi is closer than I expected her to be. Perhaps due to some trick of the light in the rain, she simply seemed farther away due to my tired eyes.
Aoi, please. Let me help you.
Yeah, you seem as you might be choking. You're turning purple.
There's nothing to be done.
I can give you the Heimlich maneuver.
Why can't you take a hint? You just never give up, do you?
No.
You just want to smother me.
Somebody's smothering you because you're dying right now. Your face is going blue, dude.
You don't trust me to handle things on my own.
Nope.
That's not it. I just care for you so much.
What is this false choice bullshit? Come on now.
I know that.
I bet you if I walked away, we never would have talked again and never been friends. She would have been so betrayed that I didn't come and help her.
You think you haven't made that clear in the past?
Rarely have I ever seen Aoi this angry. She's well past the point of being simply upset now. She's truly furious. Have I overstepped a bit? No, you haven't overstepped shit.
You're not my guardian angel, or my savior, or whatever.
Then why do you keep calling me like you need one?
This is my life, Noriko. It's not your sick fantasy, where you swoop in and act like my knight in shining armor. Shut up! Just shut up!
If you don't want a knight in shining armor, maybe you should stop acting like a damsel in distress.
You always take it one step too far. Just leave me alone.
I can't get another word in before the petulant child vanishes into the night. I reach out a hand in the darkness, like some foolish attempt to stop her, but I know it's pointless. She made her thoughts perfectly clear. She doesn't need or want my help. We'll find somebody that isn't, like, useless. Even if she cares for me, she doesn't love me in the same way that I love her, and I don't think she ever will. There's plenty of women out there in Japan. I sigh and look up at the thick cloak of clouds above. The rain continues to fall. You could do better. Honestly, Aoi's not that impressive. She has a stupid name, too. Today drags on and on. Since I don't work weekends, I never really know what to do with myself during my free time. The library yesterday was nice, but I don't want to hang out there again today. So far, I spent the day simply reading at home and brewing the occasional cup of tea to stave off my hunger. I keep checking my phone, but Aoi hasn't replied to any of my texts. Even when I call, she lets it go to voicemail. I don't even have any new requests to attend to. I was hoping I would get at least one this weekend to help occupy my time. I took a break from reading Strange Flower. I decided to browse for noise and see what's happening on my social circle. Although I'm not close to any of the people I'm connected to, save for Aoi, reading through their posts always lifts my mood. Rather annoyingly, the first post I come across is from Tomoe. 9 minutes ago. Bitches be tripping if they think they gonna steal my man. We thick as thieves. He getting lucky tonight. The garbled post is accompanied by a photo of her and Shinya getting cozy together. Shinya looks more than a little nervous. I'm willing to bet that Tomoe is the first girl he's ever snuggled like this. I can't quite figure out why she's so interested in him, or why he's into her, for that matter, because she thinks that you're into him, and she's trying to make you jealous, because she's evil. At first, I thought Tomoe was just trying to bug me, to annoy me, by pursuing someone she thought I actually wanted. But surely this is taking too far, right? Haven't I made it clear I just don't care? As for Shinya, maybe that boy really is into the blow-up doll look. I mean, I understand him less than I originally thought. Men will have sex with everything, and anyone. Women are a little bit more picky, but men will do anything. I noticed I've been frowning while looking at Tomoe's post, so I decided to slam my finger down with a thumbs up button. Thumbs down, excuse me. My mistake. A little text box below the post now reads, Noriko Kurosawa disliked this. My frown breaks it, and I smirk. It feels somewhat satisfying to publicly dislike Tomoe's posts. Yeah, I'm sure that'll show her that you're not interested at all in what they're doing. I can imagine Tomoe's face going tomato red when she reads it. I don't think that that's going to play out the way you think it is. I think she's going to be happy that you're paying attention to her and think that her plans are working to piss you off. With a little giggle, I scroll past the post and keep browsing my feed. As expected, it doesn't take long to find a post from Shinya himself. It's out of character for him, but he's actually not posting about criminal cases and detective work for once. Shinya with a capital S. Fujikawa, 13 hours ago. I never believed in love until I met her. She swept me off my feet and showed me how to become a... He didn't write that. She makes me want to be the best person I can be. My heart goes out to my darling Tomoe. 2 days together and count. Ugh. I hate people who do this. I look forward to every day because of you. Thank you. We've been together for 72 hours and I'm in love. I involuntarily gag and continue scrolling. Nothing else on my newsfeed really compares to those last few posts. My sister wrote something about her sucky job, and a few coworkers posted about how grief-stricken they were about Akane Tsurumaki's passing away unexpectedly. Akane Tsurumaki, followed closely by Ichi Hanande, and, long before them both, Ruri Hatano, the one who started it all. 3 strangers, 3 people dead, all because of Corpse Girl. People wanted them dead, and because of that, I also want them dead. I won't forget their names. When Corpse Girl rises above the muck and filth in this world and becomes truly famous, I'll share a toast to their memories. Until then, I need to trudge forward. I need new targets, new victims, to launch Corpse Girl's name into the stars. If Corpse Girl's website becomes more than an urban legend, more than a rumor whispered in the shadows, then... No. I need to take it slow. I can't get too far ahead of myself. I still need to put in a lot of work before I can attain my goal. But the only way I can move forward is if more requests come through the website. There has to be a way to promote the site. Flashy advertising is out of the question. I don't want the site to look like a gimmick people can visit simply to pass the time. I need word of mouth, testimonials. So far the site has claimed 3 victims. I need the original requesters to spread the word about how effective the website really is. Yes, that would be perfect, but obviously I can't get in touch with them now. They remain anonymous. I did it! I said anomaly. Fuck. When they request the death. No one would willingly put in their contact details of doing something that shady anyway. So I sigh and scratch my head. Thinking about it like this won't do me any good. Maybe I should come back to it later. I reach for my laptop sitting on the couch next to me. Maybe I'll take one more look for a new request. You never know, right? I log into the administration panel of Corpse Girl's website and check for notifications. 1 new request. Request details. Today, 3:31 p.m. local time. Victim's phone number. Downloading image attachment. Wait, 3:31 p.m. This was submitted just a few minutes ago. What are the chances I would check this incoming request so soon after receiving a new one? My heart begins to race as I see the attached photos downloaded to my computer. Alright, sorry about that. I'm excited about the prospect of working on a new request for the site for the rest of the evening. Who will be the poor sucker to succumb to Corpse Girl's whims? Will another beautiful corpse be left in my wake? What? She got that pissed from disliking a post that she fucking posted her image on Corpse Girl? Really? My heart skips a beat and my hands instantly turn cold. Dun dun dun. What the hell? A photo of myself appears on the screen. It's the very same image used for my company ID tag. Yeah, it's that bitch. I'm not smiling in the photo or in real life. Is this some kind of joke? Somebody has requested my death. Somebody has requested my death.
Somebody wants me dead? I can't believe it! It finally happened! I know exactly who requested my death!
Yeah.
Tomoe!
Oh, it could be our friend. Maybe she's super pissed at us, but I don't think she would do that. But she knows about the website. Huh. Yeah, it could be her. But, no, well, it wasn't that bad of a fight. Yeah.
That stupid, vapid bitch!
Tomoe Watanabe. The only person who hates me more than I hate myself. Of course she's the one who uploaded my photo. Of course she wants Corpse Girl to take care of me. Did I skip again? Nope. She's been looking for somebody to test the website on her. She's been looking for somebody to test the website on. Her noise post from the start of the week confirms that. And she's been getting increasingly obsessed with tormenting me lately. I'm willing to bet that when I disliked her latest post, it finally triggered her new request my death.
Tomoe, you brainless whore! I am Corpse Girl!
Right. In a fit of manic laughter, I set my work dismembering my photo. I'm going to make my corpse look so real. Oh, what are you doing? What are you... Alright, so we're about to switch main characters again because this one's an idiot. She obviously has some sort of power, and she's obviously about to kill herself. I'm going to make my corpse look so realistic that she'll think she succeeded in getting me killed. God damn it, I was starting to like this girl too. Why do I have to switch again? And then when her guard is down... Wait, did I misread that? Are they...
Sato yet? I wonder if she got held up.
Oh, it's, yeah, my corpse. I thought I messed up. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna fucking put our corpse. And then we're gonna die.
It's not exactly professional to be late on your first day of work.
Alright, lover boy. I grind my teeth and hope that Shinya can't sense my anxiety.
She'll be here.
I don't believe the bitter words that tumble out of my mouth. I sent another message to Aoi, seemingly abandoned phone, not really expecting a reply.
Actually, she's not the only one absent. Tomoe isn't here either.
He doesn't need to tell me that. I've been watching her desk like a hawk ever since I came in this morning. There's a small surprise waiting for her on the top desk drawer, courtesy of yours truly. I've been eagerly anticipating her arrival for an hour now.
We had a late night last night, so I wonder if she woke up on time.
I think it's misdirection. I think our friend, for some reason, requested our death instead of Tomoe. But again, I don't know why she would do that. It wasn't that big of a fight. It was just like a friend fight that you have with your friends sometimes. Unless she's just as evil as we are. I taste something foul in my mouth. I don't really need Shinya's recap of his night with Tomoe.
Don't you have work to do?
Of course. I need to.
His vocalized thoughts trail off as he wanders away. I return my focus to the keyboard in front of me. As I type, letters scrawl across my screen, seemingly slower than usual. No Aoi, no Tomoe. The static drone of the office environment is just as loud as ever, but without those two here, something feels off. Aoi shouldn't be missing her first day of work. And say what you want about Tomoe, at the very least, but she's punctual. For her to be this late is very unusual.
Kurosawa, a word, if you please.
A soft but sharp voice snaps me out of my thoughts. I look up and find a middle-aged woman standing over me, one hand beckoning in an intimidating fashion. Looks like her finger's a little bit broken too, but we can fix that. Katomi Ida, an executive who oversees a lot of the juniors on this floor. I dealt with her a few times a week. She's a serious and critical person, but I've seen a warmer side of her when she chats with her colleagues on her own level.
Miss Ida, did you need something?
Ida.
Please, come with me.
I reluctantly rise from my chair and follow her through the office. She leads me to one of the glass-screened cubicles that line one of the walls of the office. Special spaces reserved for meetings and temporary workstations.
Take a seat.
I follow her instructions, sitting down on one of the bright and colorful plastic chairs that fill the small enclosure.
A new employee was supposed to start work today. Sato, an acquaintance of yours, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That's right. I've been trying to get in contact with her.
I see. You understand that it doesn't reflect well on Sato's character if she can't arrive on time for her first day of work, correct?
Yes, I understand. Believe me, it is very out of the ordinary for her to do something like this.
I'm sure. Fujikawa recommended Sato for the job based on your personal request. You need to be aware that since Fujikawa holds rank over you, he is the one who will be reprimanded for hiring an unsuitable employee. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that he will be punished. Rather, his recommendations will be denied for the foreseeable future. And any attempt he makes to climb the ladder, so to speak, will be vehemently refused by the other executives.
Isn't that a bit extreme? All of that because of one temp employee that didn't show up for work?
That's the way these things go. I've seen it dozens of times. The reason I'm telling you this is because you should feel some sort of responsibility to apologize to Fujikawa.
Why? Like... God damn it. I always knew Aoi is going to be a problem. I bet she just reoccurs and fucks things up every chapter of this damn game.
I had no idea. Honestly,
Enough. This isn't an open discussion.
Alright, bitch.
Apologize to Fujikawa, and see if he will find it in his heart to forgive you.
Of course he will. He's a little
And
bitch.
please advise him to seek employment elsewhere. I don't foresee his career with us flourishing anytime soon.
God damn. Over this? Seriously?
That's all.
Kotomi abruptly exits the cubicle and leaves me alone, sitting in a stupid looking green plastic chair. I take some time to compose my thoughts before also walking out. I don't know what to say to Shinya. I don't even know if I should say anything. Surely Kotomi is being a bit extreme in effectively halting Shinya's career at Tubojin. Yeah, it sounds a little bit fucking stupid. Like, it's not like they, like, already paid for her training and everything and got her a 401k or whatever and, like, insurance and all that, and, like, she didn't even show up for the first day, so it's, like, not a big deal in my opinion, but we'll see. Maybe they did all that. I have no idea. This is all because I recommended it. Oh, this is all because she's a fucking idiot who didn't show up for first day of work. Like, she should know that she's screwing over several people by not showing up for her first day. Because she wanted to stay in that dead-end shit job. Like a petulant idiot. I feel like an idiot. But how was I to know that Aoi would prove unlucky? Yeah, she's a fucking unreliable idiot. I hate that character. And still, it's far too extreme. Kotomi is out of line. Something else is at play here, I can feel it. Maybe Kotomi wants Shinya gone for her own reasons, but I can't imagine why. He's a junior employee, not exactly the type to step on anyone's toes and make enemies. I return to my desk in a bit of a huff and slump into my swivel chair. My eyes fall on the empty can of coffee next to my computer screen, and I begin to wish I purchased more than one of this morning. Glancing over the top of my screen, I can see that Tomoe still hasn't arrived. Maybe I'll have to wait until tomorrow to find her the gift I left for her. I'm sure she'll love it. I don't enjoy my walk home through the park this evening as much as I normally do. There are too many things weighing on my mind. Aoi, Tomoe, Shinya, Kotomi. Why is it that I'm increasingly finding myself drawn into office drama? I don't want to deal with any of it. I just want to pursue my own goals. Working at an office is a means to an end, a way to keep a roof over my head, and I have money to achieve Corpse Girl's ambitions. If I could quit, I would, but I can't, not just yet. I wonder if I could monetize Corpse Girl's services. Users could pay a fee to request the death, or I could just accept donations. But I get the sinking feeling that I'd be asking for money will reduce the amount of requests I get. The number of requests coming in is already depressingly low. If I reduce it any further, I'd be in trouble. As I draw closer to my apartment building, my phone cries out for attention. I bring it with my ear with a swift hand.
Aoi? Noriko.
Bitch, you got a lot of people in trouble. You better have a good explanation for this.
What's the deal? I've been trying to get in touch with you all day. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't bring myself to come into the office. Yeah, well, I gathered that. Tell me why. You know, just the stuff I normally have to deal with. For real? What are we talking about here? Stalkers? Or your own battles? I left the apartment twice. I really did. But I had to go back inside each time because it didn't feel right. I had to check a few things and then check again, and in the end, I gave up and laid in bed. I must have fallen asleep because when I looked at the time, it was already late.
I sigh angrily and hope that Aoi doesn't hear me.
Alright. It sounds like you had a rough day. I'm sorry, but the situation isn't great. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? I don't think they'll be happy with you if you come in tomorrow. If I were you, I'd write a polite letter of resignation and just forget about the job. Shinya's been kind of thrown under the bus because of this. Shinya? Why?
What do you mean, why?
I'm not too sure myself. Since he got you the job, I suppose he was somewhat responsible for you. But because you didn't come in, it sounds like his career's in real jeopardy. Oh God. Oh no. Take a breath. You didn't know something like this would happen. I didn't either. I think this one exec has it out for him or something because it's too much of an overreaction. I can't believe it. I never wanted to cost him his job. I know. You didn't mean for this to happen. Look, I'll try and smooth things out a little. I'll talk to Shinya tomorrow. You need to look after yourself right now. Okay?
Oh.
Okay.
Promise me you'll take it easy tonight and relax.
Forget this ever happened. Noriko will look after everything.
As per usual. And then you'll be mean to me, because I did that.
Thank you, Noriko. Okay. Get some rest. Talk to you soon, Aoi. Bye-bye.
I end the call with a heavy heart. I don't actually have any idea what to do. When it comes to Aoi, I always feel obligated to tell her anything that will help her feel better. If I could actually follow through with my words and genuinely make things better for her, then, well, maybe we'd be in a different relationship than we do now. But I probably missed my opportunity for that a long time ago. In senior high school, I was never really truly understanding of her, and that cost me too much. Things are different now, of course. I've seen what she goes through. I like to think I understand her a lot more now. My feelings for her are true, and I'm not muddled in sympathy or pity. If this were a different life, and I hadn't made all those stupid mistakes, I would be happy to be with her. But now, the best I can hope for is that she wants to remain friends with me, and that will have to be enough to satisfy me. Well, I got other things to satisfy me, like murdering people.
Yo.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That voice. A trickle of icy sweat drips down my spine. In the near distance, sitting on the bench close to the park's exit, is an easily recognizable figure.
Come here.
Why did you come to work, bitch? I freeze in my tracks. My body wants to keep walking to reach the familiar safety of home, but my brain is engaging in its flight mode. Torn between my options, I find myself completely stationary.
Come on, I won't hurt you.
Why are you scared of this cunt?
Tomoe.
There's no doubt in my mind that she's been waiting for me here all afternoon. Jesus. She knows my route home. That's obvious since I last encountered her in Shinya at this very same park. I can't help but tense up as she leaps off the bench and approaches me.
You're into weird shit, right? Like, occult stuff?
What?
Maybe? Is that what you came here to ask me?
Nah, just listen, okay? I wanted the opinion of someone freakier than me.
She really knows how to flatter a girl.
It's kind of dumb, you know, but have you heard of that Corpse Girl website thing?
Who does she think she's talking to? More importantly, how should I respond?
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, right? I heard rumors too, so I checked it out. I thought the whole thing was really funny. Like, could it be for real? Anyway, maybe I kinda used it to request a death.
Is that so?
Tomoe has pretty much straight up admitted that she was the one who requested my death. After all, I know exactly how many requests come through the site. The latest one must have been for her.
Yeah, and, well, you know how the site works, right?
Fill me in.
All you do is put in a photo of a bitch and her phone number. Then she's supposed to drop dead. Simple as that. Thing is, no one knows how it works. Or if it works, actually.
Right. Okay, so you requested somebody's death, and what happened?
Well,
This is it. This is where she admits that she uploaded my photo. I've caught her red-handed. Why does he keep putting different colors on the... Like, earlier it said, I think, green or something, and it was, like, red, and now it's, red, and it has green lettering. It's super weird.
you see, the dumb bitch went and died.
Huh? I blinked a few times. I'm positive I didn't hear that right.
What did you say?
The chick whose photo I uploaded. She's deader than a doorknob.
Did she upload the executive? Who is Tomoe referring to? My mind is racing frantically, scanning through a list of Corpse Girl's victims over the past few... Yeah, it's the executive that worked at her company. The only people who have died recently are Kane Tsurumaki and Ichi Hanada. Tomoe is talking about a female, so that rules out Ichi. And then there's Rui Hatano, but she died a long time ago. Last year, in fact. Surely Tomoe isn't the one who requested her death. No, it was the executive. It was way too long ago for her to be bringing it up now. That leads me to believe that the only person Tomoe could be talking about is Akane Tsurumaki. Or maybe somebody else died, somebody I never found out about? That's impossible. I've been so thorough in searching for the results of my work. The only victim that Tomoe could be talking about is Akane. But wait, no, that still can't be right. Tomoe requested my death. Somebody, Tomoe, uploaded a photo of my corpse. It's your friend, dude. It's the only way it could be. She knows about the website. I don't know why she did that, but she did it. I took a deep breath, swallowed hard, and opened my mouth.
Tomoe, what you're saying is really serious. Are you sure this person died?
Yep.
Like
no doubt.
totes.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. If you're good with this occult junk, how do you think she died from a website? Do you reckon my request really killed her? Because I don't really want this shit on my conscience, you know?
I don't know what to say.
Come on. I was only really joking around with the website. Didn't think for a second that it could really work.
As she winks at us and does a peace sign.
But now, this bitch is cold in the ground, and I can't sleep at night. Keeping Shinya close is the only thing making me calm lately.
Her face isn't matching what she's saying. Tomoe seems to be showing a little remorse, which I didn't think she had in her. To be showing a little remorse, okay. If she thought the website was a joke, then fair enough. It's only natural that she'd want to play around with it. Then again, I'm kind of offended that she figured the whole thing was fake. Corpse Girl has worked too damn hard to be considered a joke. But I want to get to the bottom of this. I need to find out whose death Tomoe requested. It's obviously, like... She obviously had a run-in with the executive at work, and that's who died. And, more importantly, the question of who requested my own death remains unanswered. Well, the only other character is your friend that you had a fight with. That's the only one I can think of. If she didn't do it, Shinya probably had zero reason to do it. The library guy is the only other character, but Does he even... Yeah, he does know our name. But how did he have our photo of our company ID? How did our friend have our... Well, our friend does have our, like, noise profile. I don't know.
Tomoe, what's the name of the person you requested to die?
Her name? Oh, you might know her.
It was that skank from our office, Akane Tsurumaki.
Mystery solved. Akane Tsurumaki. Sure enough, she's well and truly dead. Tomoe isn't wrong in believing that the website killed Akane. Tomoe once posted on Noise about wanting to try the website, and she was waiting to find someone to try it on. If I recall correctly, the request for Akane's death came through Corpse Girl's website shortly after I read that post. Perhaps Tomoe made the request on the very same day. Smart, you know? Post on social media how about you want to kill somebody, and then immediately post on Corpse Girl, and then she dies. So then Tomoe was the one responsible. I assumed the person who requested Akane's death was someone in our office, but I never figured it'd be a junior data entry temp like Tomoe. How did Tomoe even know Akane? I can't see their paths would have crossed in such a large office building.
Yo, Psycho, you in there?
Again, her face doesn't match anything that's happening right now. I snap out of my thoughts and meet Tomoe's dead-eyed gaze.
Your professional opinion? Can a website really kill someone?
How the fuck would I know? I'm torn between giving two replies. Fuck off, leave me alone. That's my two replies. I could state that I believe the websites worked, and therefore help increase Corpse Girl's credibility, or I could play it safe and make sure I'm not suspected of any involvement. Coward that I am, I decided to play it safe.
No, absolutely not. A website can't kill someone.
Yeah, I figured. Guess it's just a coincidence that she died. You reckon I'm not guilty then? I didn't really want the bitch dead anyway. I was just mucking around.
Does this translate correctly, the way she's talking? Like, are there Japanese girls in Japanese that really talk like this? Because this is a very American-sounding type of dialect. Like California girl type of dialect.
Yeah, you're not guilty.
Thank God. That's a real weight off my elbows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I sure as shit won't mess around with sites like that again, though. I'm gonna play it real straight from now on. I gotta get my life together. I got a man to look after now.
Right. Well, good luck with that. I need to get home.
All I want right now is to get back and figure out who the hell uploaded a photo of me to the website. My mind is reeling. I'm not in the right headspace to listen to Tomoe's drivel any longer.
Hey, for what it's worth, which ain't much. Thanks. Thanks for putting my mind at ease.
Yeah, now can you stop stalking me on my way home, please?
I know we ain't always seen eye to eye, and, well, nah. That's about it for now.
For a fleeting moment, I imagined what she was about to apologize for assaulting me last week. That possibility disappeared from my mind almost as soon as she had appeared.
See you tomorrow.
She waves, almost sheepishly, and then wanders back through the park in the direction I came from. Right, time to go home. I can't relax until I know who requested my death. It was your friend, dude. That's the only person I could think of that did it. If it wasn't Tomoe, then the situation could be a lot more serious than I originally thought. If it wasn't because of my petty squabbles with her, then someone really wants me dead. Who? I just don't know why she would do it. Like, I know she's, you know, I don't know. I don't know why she would want to. I can't sleep. It must be past 3 a.m. Countless hours have passed since I started trying to figure out who requested my death. I've run through every possible candidate and their potential reasons 1,000 times. I've replayed every encounter I've ever had with a person I've ever met, and I'm drawing a blank. How about the person you fought with the night that you got the request? I don't know who wants me dead. I'm not so vain as to think that everybody likes me. I'm sure a hell of a lot of people don't like me very much at all. But does everyone not like me enough to want me dead? To nominate me for Corpse World to claim it as a prey? I take solace in the fact that my life isn't actually in danger. Corpse Girl's victims are only brought low by my hand. Didn't you leave a picture of you as a corpse in Tomoe's desk drawer at the office? That might not be good. Also, you don't even know how your power works, and you want to leave a corpse of you lying anywhere? Though my convictions are strong, I never refuse a request. Taking my own life is absolutely out of the question. This is the one and only request I will ever refuse, and it's not for the sake of my own life, but rather for the sake of Corpse Girl's continued existence. I will not let her die and be buried with me. However, now that I've eaten the knowledge of somebody genuinely wants me dead, I can't cure my upset stomach. No amount of mental reassurance will quell the sickness rising inside of me. The top candidates, of course, are those closest to me. I've crossed Tomoe off the list. Her relief at knowing Akane Tsurumaki's death wasn't her fault convinced me that she wouldn't make the mistake of messing with the website twice. And the fact that she came to me for reassurance, well, it's safe to say that she's not the person I'm looking for. So that leaves the people I deal with on a daily basis. Aoi Sato, my best friend since junior high, the only person I've ever fell for. She rejected me gracefully during senior high. So gracefully that we still remain friends to this day. Would she want me dead? It's doubtful. She wouldn't even report her stalker, a guy who was apparently related to the police, because she didn't want to see him arrested. Yeah, but she knows about the website. It's the only other person I can think of. And then there's Shinya Fujikawa, another acquaintance from school, and now my coworker. He was even gone so far as to call us friends now that we're connected on Noise. I've never been romantically interested in him, but I was under the false impression that he had feelings for me. He's a wannabe detective, but he doesn't have the competence to follow in his father's footsteps. He doesn't strike me as the type to want someone dead, let alone go through with it, requesting somebody's death. Still quiet, guarded people like him can be really surprising. When you take those three out of the equation, the people I deal with on daily are very few. There are the higher-ups and execs at work, like Kotomi Ida, but our dealings are so short and simple that I'm sure I barely even register on their radar. If I extend my list of candidates to include people that I don't deal with regularly, who are technically still a part of my life, then the list gets a little more interesting and harder to narrow down. Kenji and Momo Agawa, the father and daughter living in my apartment building. They're sweet, kind, and considerate. Couldn't imagine they want me dead and wanting to kill me unless I'm really using too much of their internet bandwidth and they just can't take it anymore. There's my elder sister, of course, Yuriko Kurosawa. We haven't talked in over a year at least. She's scum, but probably not the type to randomly select her own sister for death, probably. She's on parole, so I have to believe she wouldn't do anything to jeopardize her freedom. And then there's Mother, Asuna Kurosawa. She's simply not in a position to submit my details to Corpse Girl's websites. My struggling brain can't think of anybody else who currently in my life. I have a very small social circle, it's true. All the people that filled my Noise newsfeed have either already been named on this list, or they're from such a small, long-ago part of my life that they wouldn't even remember I exist anymore. And then suddenly, without warning, a face pops in my mind with startling clarity. That guy from the library. Yeah, I considered him too. Kojiro, was it? Kojiro with no surname. He was bizarre, eccentric. Didn't seem like the type of person that gets outside much. Kinda like me, I suppose. His eyes were so clear it was unnerving. They say that the eyes are the window to the soul, but I couldn't see anything of substance through his lenses. Out of everyone I've mentally listed, he seems like the person most capable of taking someone's life. That's just a biased opinion, based on little to no knowledge I have of him. It's just the impression he gives. However, I have to ask myself, would he want me dead? Me, a person he met one time at a library? In addition, the photo of me was uploaded to my website from Temujin's corporate system. It's the very same picture that I wear on my ID tag. How would Kojiro have access to it? Yeah, that is curious. I don't know how... My leading theory is their friend. It's, Aoi. But I don't know how she has the ID tag, but she's been around her so damn long, I'm assuming she has some access to that photo. If he was going to upload a photo of me, he would have found my noise profile and used an image from one of my albums. There aren't too many photos of me on there, but there are enough to identify me. The guy is suspicious, but I don't think he's the one I'm looking for. Yet I can't get his face out of my mind. On a whim, I snatch up my phone from my bedside beside me and unlock the screen. The bright light shines into the beacon in darkness and nearly blinds me, but I squint and navigate to the noise app. Kojiro, he told me his noise tag, didn't he? If I can remember it, it'll save me the hassle of having to look through hundreds of profiles with the same name just to find him. What was it? At Kojiro? No, too simple. Koji something. I start to type different variations until an auto-predicted result pops up. Koji. That's the one. I tap the result and instantly arrive at his profile. The info in his About Me section is pretty vague, but judging by the display photo, I'm certain it has to be the right guy. Koji. Just your average guy, taking my days one at a time. Introvert. Anti-social, anti-establishment, anti-everything, lol. I like peanut butter, though. He's so cool, dude. He's so awesome. I scroll through his feed and see that he hasn't posted anything for quite some time. His most recent post is from about a year ago, and it's just an updated version of his display picture, where he has cropped a woman's face and a body just to focus on him. I open up a direct message to him and start typing. At no Rico. Hey, this is Kojiro from the library. It's Noriko. Kurosawa. Since it's past 3 AM, I'm not expecting a reply until I instantly receive a message in response. Koji, hi, late night? He responded so quickly. But yeah, it's a girl messaging you on a social media website. You gotta respond instantly. I swallow and I gather the nerve to ask him what's on my mind. Yes, I can't sleep. Have you heard of Corpse Girl website? ... The screen states that he's currently typing message, but then the notification simply disappears and no message comes through. Is he ignoring me? You bastard. Then... Yes. So he doesn't know about the website. The question is, was he already familiar with it, or did he just look it up after I mentioned it? What are your thoughts? Is it real? Yes, love it. Big fan. I see. Me too. Have you used it? No? Well, no. Not yet. Don't hate anyone enough. It's hard to get a sense of his emotions through his replies. I can't tell if he's being sincere or not. Koji. Wait, have you used it? Tell me. Tell me details. Does it work? Noriko. No, I haven't used it, but it's popular in my office. I don't know why I wrote that, or why I ended the message with a question mark. I shake my head and wait for a response. Koji. Okay. Let me know if you use it. Might work for me. Might be work for me. Might be work for me? What does he mean by that? Noriko. Work? Yes, I study cadavers. Dispose of later. I don't understand. Yeah, this guy talks in text speech way too much. I can't understand shit he's saying. Koji. Hospital morgue. Storage and disposal. He works at a morgue. I noticed a strange smell on his clothes when we first met, and now it makes sense. I gag a little and suppress the urge to vomit. So if someone dies, they get sent to you? Even for, like, suicides and murders? Yes. All sorts. Worst are car crash victims. Have to mix and match limbs. Have you ever received a victim of Corpse Girl's website? Possible to know. Maybe. Who knows? Have a name? A name? Can you look up the names of the bodies he's received? Can you look up such a thing? Yes. Cadavers are ID'd, mostly. No victim? Should I ask? Will doing so put me under suspicion of being associated with Corpse Girl? Yes, it will, because how the hell do you know who's been on the Corpse Girl website and who's been killed by them. Hello? I can look now, at work. I start to nervously bite my fingernails. I know that I won't gain anything from finding out if he's dealt with any of the victims, but morbid curiosity tends to get the better of me. Sometimes I just have to know. Akane Tsururamaki. Okay, a second. No, correct spelling? Got an M Tsururamaki and Akane Tsururamaki. That's not right, close enough. Okay, more names. Ichiya Hanande. One sec. Yes, crash victim. Bad. I remember him. He's still here, actually. I can't believe what I'm reading. Ichiya Hanande ended up at the Kojiro's morgue, and he's still there? Ugh, my head. It's itchy. Really? How long do you store bodies? Depends. Up to 2 days for autopsy. No autopsy for him, though. No need. So he just sits there. Cold chamber number 31BB. If family don't collect, then cremation. Is cremation what you mean by disposal? Yes, mostly. Friend of yours? Not exactly. But he's Corpse Girl's victim? You said so. Well, I don't know. You said so. Interesting. I'll look at him again. Really, there's no need for that. You're such an idiot. Yeah, how would you know? It's okay, I won't tell. How did you do it? I swallow hard. What is it? Yeah, he suspects you, you idiot, because you're asking questions about random dead people that you shouldn't know about, and you're relating them to Corpse Girl. Like, come on. Amateur. Hello? How did I do what? How did you kill him? Oh, shit. I've messed up, he knows. Kojiro has found out who I am. You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're so stupid. In a panic, I slam my phone down. I can hear the constant vibration against the bed as Kojiro continues to message me. Yeah, you fucking moron. Shit. Shit. What do I do? Can I make something up to convince him that I'm not the one responsible for Ichi's death? Will he even buy it? But I'm not responding to him straight away. I probably inadvertently proven my own... You've proven your own guilt by asking questions about the people related to Corpse Girl's death that nobody else would know about. Besides the murderer. I pick up my phone before my trembling thumb and forefinger. I hold it delicately, as though it has suddenly become some sort of evidence that I don't want covered in my fingertips. In a way, that's completely true. I started on the messages from Kojiro. Hey. You there? Hello? I better reply. I have to say something. Maybe, just maybe, I could throw him off my trail. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill anyone. Not exactly a lie. Yes, true. Corpse Girl killed him. No name on entry of Corpse Girl's website. Well, you knew his name, and you knew he died. Yeah, exactly. Ergo, you requested his death. Wait, this is good. This is far better than him believing I'm Corpse Girl. He thinks I'm just some sort of fan of the website that submitted his request. I have to run with this. I can't let him know the actual truth. Okay, you got me. I used the website to request his death. You're such an idiot. Ha! Gotcha, bitch. Wow. Mad. So the site is real. Amazing. This is exciting. Are you happy he's dead? I decided to take a leaf out of Tomo's book and act more innocent than I really am. No, not really. I just made the request on a whim to see what would happen. I didn't think it would really work. Wow, so you didn't hate the guy? Ichi? No, I never met him. Just found his photo on the internet. Incredible. Corpse Girl kills with just a photo. Doesn't even need a name. Wonder how many other Vics I got here. LOL. Have to go. Clocking off soon. Talk later. Kojiro's status immediately changes to offline. Suspicious. I breathe a sigh of relief. I think he bought the lie. Surely I'm in the clear. Yeah, totally. But this whole conversation was an exercise in stupidity. I nearly shot myself in the foot because of my own insatiable curiosity. Yeah, that was a really dumb move. Really, really dumb. I shouldn't have contacted Kojiro at all. The only positive thing I know to come of this is learning that Kojiro works at a hospital morgue. I could potentially take advantage of this, but my sleep-deprived brain can't work out how. Well, I can dwell on that later. For now, I really need sleep. What an idiot move. Brainlet. My alarm erupts with a shrieking scream and scares me awake. My eyes don't open immediately, and instead I find myself tossing and turning, trying to bury my face in a pillow. I can't have had more than 2 hours of sleep, and now it's already time to get up and go to work. How the hell am I supposed to function today? I drag my heavy body from the bed, and I slide into a pair of slippers resting on the floor. With a yawn and a stretch, I leave my bedroom. I stand in the kitchenette connected to the living room for a few moments, completely absent-minded. I open the refrigerator and stare blankly at the dismal contents. A small tub of peach yogurt sits in the top shelf, and a half-empty jug of oolong tea rests at the bottom. I grab the yogurt and peel off the lid. Without even fetching a spoon, I simply pour a little bit in my mouth. I consume about half a tiny portion and wipe my mouth before throwing the leftovers in the trash can. That will be enough to spike my energy for the morning. When you normally run on an empty stomach, any amount of calories can work as a pick-me-up. That and water. You get dehydrated when you sleep at night, and if you drink some water, it'll wake you up. I make a mental note to collect 2 or 3 cans of coffee from the convenience store on my way to work. That should carry me through the rest of the day. The rest of the early morning is spent applying makeup and getting dressed. I'm out the door the same time as every other day. To stop myself from nodding off at my desk, I decide to rearrange my personal effects. Having something to focus on is a great way to fight off sleep. Unlike the other employees here, I don't tend to keep too much at my workspace, yet it still manages to feel cluttered somehow. Next to my computer monitor are 3 little figurines that I collected from a toy capsule machines. They're a set of anthropomorphic coffee cans that were released on a promotional campaign for my favorite coffee. So I can read anthropomorphic the first time, but I can't read anonymous, ever. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Each figure is about the size of my thumb. They're cute little things, and when you put a coin in the capsule machine, you never know which character you're going to get. So far, I managed to collect Captain Cafe Ola, Lieutenant Longblack, and Madame Macchiato, excuse me. If I remember correctly, there are 2 more I can still get. But the capsule machines seem to run out of rotation now because they've been replaced with different series of toys. If I ever want to collect the remaining figures, I'll probably need to buy them online. Oh well, I'm not super invested in having to own all of them. I give each tiny figure a bit of dusting and then set them back up next to my monitor, so they're all standing up straight and facing forward. Satisfied that they're tidy, I look at the small tray of drawers that sit on the other side of my monitor. I mainly just store papers and office memos in them. They're not really big enough to hold anything much larger than documents. I rummage through the drawers and discard a few old notices that aren't relevant anymore. When I'm done, I file away a couple of loose papers that have been fluttering around my desk for the last week. With that complete, I straighten out my keyboard so that it's parallel with my mouse pad. I give my keyboard a thorough dusting, and then I lean back in my chair to admire my work. The desk looks so much nicer now. A clean workspace invites a clear state of mind, or so my coworkers would have me believe. Maybe I'll just buy a little bit. Maybe I'll buy into that a little bit, now that I can see the effects for myself. The corner of my eyes claps a glimpse of blonde hair, and I turn to watch Tomoe enter the office. She nods at Shinya as she walks by his desk, and continues nonchalantly to her own workspace. Since her desk is in my line of sight, I have the perfect vantage point to watch her put her belongings down and take a seat. I feel a sudden stirring of excitement as she sits down. It's almost as if I'm anticipating something. Yeah, you left the picture in her desk drawer and you forgot. Was something supposed to happen with Tomoe today? Have I forgotten something? Yeah, you did. You forgot. You're an idiot. I'm going to title this section, Our Character is an Idiot. Because she's made so many stupid decisions. My tired mind can't really focus on these thoughts. I try to ignore the mild surge of adrenaline that started pulsing through me when I took her seat. I distracted myself by starting up my computer and looking over at today's tasks. It looks as though I need to correct a few entries, and I uploaded the company's servers yesterday. In my previously distracted state, it's possible I made a few typographical errors. That's fair enough, I'll get to work correcting the data. I open up a few programs and listen to the whirring of my computer tower, nearly droned out by the clamor of the office environment. The next sound I hear is eclipses of the noise on the computer and the office. Completely and absolutely. A terrified shriek slices through the air like a knife, leaving a deathly ringing silence in its wake. I scramble to my feet purely out of instinct, scanning for the source of the scream. I don't have to look very far before my eyes fall upon a distressed Tomoe, kneeling on the floor and clutching her face. She's on the ground next to her desk, staring at unblinkingly, her fingers white from a strain of clawing at her own head. Is the sudden chaos, people rushing to her side? I somehow managed to notice one of the drawers on her desk is wide open. An open drawer? As tired and exhausted I am, the significance of the drawer oh my god. I immediately realized why my body subconsciously felt excited when Tomoe came into the office this morning. I left something in her desk drawer, something I wanted her to find. Yesterday's obsession with discovering the identity of the one who requested my death caused me to forget my rebellious strike against Tomoe. I left something in her drawer yesterday, thinking that she was the one who submitted my photo to the website. Then she didn't come into work, and it completely slipped my mind. After she confessed to requesting a Kane Turzumaki's death, I erased my suspicion of her being the one who targeted me, but I didn't remove the item from her drawer. I'm in deep, deep shit now. Before I can even lurch forward to my desk, Tomoe turns her head to face me. Her cold, grim eyes lock onto mine, refusing to let go. A trickle of crimson blood seeps from her scalp, where her fingernails pierced her skin through a panicked scream. Swallowing my nervousness, I break eye contact with her and stare down at the flat object that was the focus of her outcry. It's a familiar photograph, a printed image on glossy paper. A traditional old school, and just as effective as I had hoped. Though I can't make out all the detail from the distance, the composition of the photo doesn't elude my memory. Damn. The stake through the heart. She's got skills, I'll give her that. It depicts my very own corpse, toppled backwards over a tombstone. A bloody slash traces across my neck. Well, I can't see that. Slash over the neck? I can't see it. A laceration lines my stomach, and a knife protrudes from my breast. That's a knife? I thought it was a stake. My black hair is a tangled mess, my dark eyeliner is smeared and smudged. The grimace of my face is an unmistakable mask of death. Noriko Kurosawa, stoic and unflinching in death. Noriko Kurosawa, dead atop a random tombstone in the nameless cemetery. I have a feeling we're gonna die now. A bizarre yet untimely... Did I read that right? Oh, ultimately, unremarkable way to die. It suits me perfectly. I'm proud of the work that went into this photo. The objective was to punish Tomoe for requesting my death, to create a work of art so horrific that she would have to beg for forgiveness if she found me still breathing. But the scene is playing out like before me is unlike anything I had imagined. Tomoe's face is scrunched with hatred, that her veins in her forehead threatening to burst and shower the office with sanguine gore at any given second. Whether or not she thinks that this is some sort of sick prank is beyond my knowledge. All I can decipher from her expression is that she is likely to strangle me at a given opportunity. But perhaps I'm just jumping ahead of myself. Why do I automatically assume that she believes I'm guilty of putting the photo in her drawer? I mean, aren't I the victim in the image? Perhaps she actually...
Who the fuck is responsible for this?
She howls like a wounded animal, a battered and beaten pup back into the corner. Clutching the photo, now torn from her bloody fingernails, she stands and plants her feet firmly on the floor, steadfast, stern, resolute, a bulwark of immovable fury. All eyes are upon her. The bleach blonde girl with the antagonizing attitude is in the center of attention in the office.
The photo is disgusting! Absolutely sick! Who made it?
From the confused and puzzled faces of 20 or so employees huddled around, it's obvious no one really knows what Tomoe is talking about. The photo is small, and with her clutching it tightly and waving it around frantically, it's impossible for anyone to make it out in detail. I'm bold enough to assume no one else has managed to properly consider it yet. Maybe I can prevent our coworkers from getting a closer look if I act fast. I dart out from behind my desk and I approach Tomoe.
Let me see.
Tomoe aggressively thrusts the photo towards me. I take a cursory look at it and gasp loudly to add credibility to my acting. Adopting a fake contentness of shock. Content? I don't know, dude. I grab Tomoe by the shoulder and I pull her close to me. I bump my head against hers so we stand immediately in the middle of the crowd, forehead to forehead, our eyes fixated on one another. I hope my beating heart isn't loud enough for Tomoe to notice as we stand next to each other. I whisper softly, my pulse quickening as I try to make my words sound urgent and confident rather than broken and anxious.
Come with me. I need to talk to you.
Tomoe tenses and stiffens, but she murmurs something that sounds like an agreement. I pull away from her and grab her wrist to lead her out of the office. We exit from the throng of onlookers, scratching their heads and dart towards the elevator. Shinya says nothing as we pass him. He just looks on with a pale face. The elevator ride down is silent and awkward, but eventually the doors open and reveal the ground floor lobby. We weave between the scattered couches and sculptures, making a frantic dash for the exit. We finally emerge outside on the brisk morning air. Trying to catch my breath, I notice that Tomoe isn't nearly exhausted as I am. I want to chalk up my wheezing condition to lack of sleep, but I know it's just an excuse for my poor physical fitness. Tomoe is still holding up the photo in her hand. She looks at it once more in disgust, then faces me with the one hand on her hip.
You want to tell me what the fuck this is?
Look, it's difficult to explain, but I'll try my best.
I want to find out who planted this in my drawer. And look at this.
She thrusts the photo at me once again. She uses the point of her thumb to indicate the timestamp printed at the bottom of the image.
It's got yesterday's date on it. A photo of your dead body, as if you've already been killed. But here you stand.
Here you stand. Sure enough, the photo bears yesterday's date, timestamp 9:06 p.m. I marked it as such when I was under the belief that Tomoe would find it yesterday morning. I wanted her to anxiously wait out the day until my death accompanied the rising moon. Since that didn't go down in the way I planned, the confusion on Tomoe's face is now self-explanatory.
I just can't believe that corpse girl wants you dead.
Wants you dead? What did she say?
Huh?
This is just like what happened to Akane Tsurumaki when I requested her death. The police found a photo of her own dead body on her phone when they investigated how she died.
What? Is this public knowledge? How did I not know this? Because you're stupid.
And now you've got a similar photo. Does that mean Corpse Girl is trying to kill ya?
Kill ya?
But it doesn't make sense. It's already past the time it says here. And why was the photo in my desk drawer? What do I gotta do with it?
I'm still reeling from the information about Akane Tsurumaki. The police discovered the corpse photo on her phone. Of course they did. Of course they would investigate her death. It was foolish of me to assume this photo wouldn't come to light. Tomoe grits her teeth and tenderly touches a finger to the bloody cut on her scalp, the place where her fingernails slashed in anguish. She looks at her fingertip in revulsion and sighs.
Look, maybe it's my fault that Akane Tsurumaki ended up down the well. Maybe it's not. The least I can do is make sure that the fucking corpse girl doesn't come to
The
get Shiro
fucking
as well.
corpse girl. Her accent is hilarious.
You ain't my friend or nothing, but sluts gotta stick it out together, right? I don't want another cold bitch on my conscience.
I feel like there's the most touching words Tomoe could string together. I'm somewhat flattered that she wants to protect me.
Tomoe, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I kinda do, you know? You comforted me a little when I came to you about the dead skank. Made me feel like I wasn't totally to blame, yeah? You might not be as much of a psycho as I thought. There might be a heart beating behind that flat chest.
Okay. Thanks.
Unexpectedly, the brash and brazen girl beams at me brightly.
I'm putting you under 24-hour surveillance. Corpse Girl's gonna have to crack my skull open before she goes sticking her fingers into yours.
Well, at least we're getting punished.
Tomoe, really, that's not necessary.
I can't figure out a way to convey that I'm not actually in any danger. Well, immediate danger at any rate. It's true that there is someone out there who wants me dead badly enough to request it through a website. But as far as the threat of Corpse Girl coming to get me goes, I'm perfectly safe. I don't feel that way, but she does. I resign myself to simply blankly staring at Tomoe, the girl I hold so much disdain for. I know I should choose my next words carefully. Tomoe is prone to violent outbursts at even the best of times. Oh. I don't need you to protect me. Fuck off. Thanks. I'll be fine on my own. I'd feel better with you looking after me. Huh. Well... I don't know. I think I'm just gonna pick the third one, just because I want to stare at her cleavage more.
I'd feel better with you looking after me.
Totally.
You're damn right. Ain't no one gonna protect you as good as me.
Tomoe reaches forward and ruffles my hair with a tomboyish manner. I grimace and bear it until she's satisfied and retracts her arm with a laugh.
Nah, what are we gonna do? I don't totally believe this corpse girl person really exists, but still. Something or other killed Akane Tsurumaki. Pretty sure it wasn't suicide, what with the photo and all.
Yeah, huh?
Since you got one of them photos too, I reckon someone's out to get you.
Yeah, about that.
How about we hunker down at my place after work? Gals night in, right?
Our character is a lesbian, so... Or at least bi. Could get it on with her.
If someone tries to break down the door to get to you, I'll show them what's what.
Is this gonna turn into a dating game? She's really insistent. I almost can't believe it's the same girl that slapped me across the face last week. Well, some girls like that, you know? I feel like we could almost be friends at this rate, but what happens if she finds out I'm not an actual any day? Well, she won't find out. Will she think I used her, betrayed her? Who cares? Don't tell her. What if she finds out that I'm Corpse Girl? Would that probably be the trigger that provokes me into slashing my throat herself? Well, then just don't do any of those things. Tired as I am and feeling weak of will, I simply nod.
Sure. Let's go to your place after work.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Maybe I made a mistake.
We'll do a snack run, okay? Gotta have chocolate and cake on a night like this.
All of a sudden, she freezes and stares intently into my eyes.
Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to...
What?
It's fine. Snacks sound good.
Well, I guess we do have an eating disorder.
Hey, don't feel pressured to eat, okay? I got a big appetite, so nothing will go to waste.
She grins, looking proud of herself. My expression softens somewhat. Somehow, Tomoe is displaying the minimum amount of human decency, and yet it's very touching. We've somehow broken down a wall between us and removed the animosity that has hung in the air since the day we met. Suddenly, she reaches out her hand, the photograph held gently between her fingers.
Here. Better you have it than me.
Probably. Looking down at the photo, it's perfectly clear that it's me in the image. I suppose it'd be best to delete this evidence. I shred the photo carefully, making sure to completely destroy any of my defining features in one image. With the photo completely ripped beyond recognition, I toss it in a nearby bin. Tomoe smiles at me and we enter the office building side by side.